let's think about the kind of people that would be involved in this. People that would be in the room, that would be facilitating this, egging this kind of thing on, encouraging this, participating.
She says that she went to the MTV Video Music Awards in 2000 to catch a glimpse of her favorite celebrities.
You weren't scared to be all alone?
No, with having autism.
Tony Busby Law Firm just filed a lawsuit against Roc Nation and Jay-Z's lawyers Marcy Croft and Quinn Emanuel for violation of various state laws, including barratry and impersonation of a public official. So Tony Busby Law Firm is claiming that Jay-Z's company is involved in an illegal scheme to stop him from filing claims against him and Diddy.
Whenever I get in trouble, this is the one I call. It's my strategist right here.
Now come and get 20, 40, 80 at the trap. Hit it with the rap, hit it on the map, we'll be right back.
It looks like Jay-Z is running out of options in his efforts to get the Jane Doe lawsuit thrown out, because some explosive new evidence has just flipped the case again. And let's just say, things have gotten way worse for him. For weeks now, the Carter's PR team has been working overtime to bury this lawsuit. And to be fair, they were doing a decent job. Most people probably assumed the whole thing had quietly disappeared. But guess what? It's far from over. In fact, it just took a dramatic turn after Jane Doe's attorney, Tony Busby, hit back at Jay-Z's latest motion to dismiss the case. Jay's legal team recently filed a motion arguing that Jane Doe is fabricating the story and doesn't have a real case. But Busby came back with receipts, and they paint a troubling picture for Jay. To start, Busby hired a retired police detective to conduct a full background check on Jane Doe, and according to him, her story checks out. In addition, personal details, like Jane Doe's autism diagnosis, have surfaced, showing she was in an extremely vulnerable state at the time of the alleged incidents. That makes the accusations even more disturbing. And here's the thing. Instead of offering a solid alibi or clear evidence that proves Jay's innocence, his legal team has been filing motion after motion attacking Tony Busby's credibility. According to Busby, that's a clear sign Jay-Z is getting desperate. And with Diddy's federal trial coming up fast, there are rumors Jay is panicking, afraid that Diddy might start naming names. So here's the big question. If Jane Doe's case has no merit, why hasn't it been dismissed yet? Let's break it all down.
In addition to having autism, the woman says she suffered a head injury.
I stumbled upon Diddy's driver, who told me that I was exactly what Diddy was looking for.
What did you think when he said that to you?
I thought it meant that I was just pretty.
For months now, Jay-Z and his legal team have been doing everything possible to discredit Tony Busby, the attorney representing the woman accusing both Jay and Diddy of assaulting her when she was just 13 years old. Back in January, Jay tried to have the case thrown out, and now he's filed yet another legal memo, this time adding more claims and details. According to court documents obtained by Hip Hop DX, Jay-Z and his lawyer Alex Spiro are now saying Busby got even the most basic facts wrong. Spiro claims it's obvious that Mr. Carter didn't assault anyone, pointing out inconsistencies in the alleged victim's story. Those inconsistencies, according to Spiro, include a mistaken description of Diddy's property, where the incident allegedly occurred, and the fact that there are no named witnesses. Now, if you recall, the woman behind the lawsuit, Jane Doe, originally claimed that a third celebrity, a female, was also present during the alleged abuse by Jay and Diddy, but to this day that celebrity has never been identified. And interestingly, Alex Spiro hasn't said a word about that part of the lawsuit. Instead, Jay-Z and his lawyer have been focusing their fire on Tony Busby himself. They're asking the judge to hold Busby accountable to the ethical standards that all responsible attorneys must follow when signing their name to serious legal allegations. But Busby isn't backing down. In fact, he's doubling down, saying he conducted a full background check on Jane Doe and even brought in a retired police detective to investigate further. he also told Hip Hop DX that he remains fully confident in the case. His words? With every frantic filing, the defense in this case grows more desperate. The rules apply equally to everyone, even those who wrongly believe they're above the law. One thing, though, that made a lot of people raise eyebrows was Jay-Z's reaction. When the lawsuit first went public, instead of addressing the claims head-on, he suddenly began distancing himself from Diddy. Jay even had Alex Spiro publicly deny that he and Diddy were ever close friends, which left a lot of people confused, because for years there's been undeniable proof that Jay and Diddy weren't just cool, they called each other family.
Mr. Carter has nothing to do with Mr. Combs' case or Mr. Combs. They knew each other professionally for a number of years, just like in all professions. People know each other. At the music awards, they support each other. You go to the NBA All-Star game, they support each other. That's just how professions work. There is no closer association between any of them. That's also a matter of fiction. That's all that there is. He doesn't know anything about the charges or allegations against him. He has nothing to do with that case. And there's nothing more to say.
But if Jay is truly innocent, then why go out of his way to erase his entire history with Diddy? Let's be real. Being friends with Diddy, messy as that looks right now, isn't a crime. The only thing Jay really needs to prove is that he didn't do anything illegal. But the fact that he's so desperate to rewrite the past, that's not a good look. Even if Jane Doe's allegations against Jay-Z eventually get dismissed or proven false, there's still no denying that Jay and Diddy were close. Unless Jay-Z has some brand new definition of friendship, things just aren't adding up. Diddy was out here calling Jay-Z his extended family. He even said Jay was the first person he calls when he's in trouble.
Whenever I get in trouble, this is the one I call. It's my strategist right here. This my brother. This B.I.G.'s brother. Yes, sir. This Brooklyn's own Brooklyn.
Now, there's another clip going viral, and it's only adding fuel to the fire. In the clip, Diddy claims that Jay-Z skipped Blue Ivy's recital just so he could show up and perform at the Bad Boy 20th anniversary show. Let that sink in. Jay allegedly chose a concert over his own daughter's big moment, just to stand by Diddy on stage. If that's true, it speaks volumes about how deep their bond really was, no matter how hard Jay tries to downplay it now.
Your home is doing a lot of things, and most importantly, you know, we have a recital that he has to be on the field. We reached out to him, and I told him that this right here was important. Bad Boy celebrating 20 years of hits. This is extended family. You've been there with me through my ups and downs.
So Jay-Z wants us to believe he was never really friends with Diddy, yet he skipped his own daughter's recital just to show up and support him? Make it make sense. And let's not forget that carpool karaoke episode, where Diddy told James, Corden, that Jay-Z is literally the only person besides his own mother who's allowed to call him by his government name. That's not just friendship, that's family-level closeness. What's even more suspicious? That entire episode has mysteriously disappeared from the official Carpool Karaoke YouTube channel. Looks like Jay's team might have made some behind-the-scenes calls. But let's be honest, the internet never forgets.
Is Sean approved from the world of entertainment?
There's only one person.
Oh, go on.
And I call him Sean. That's Jay-Z. We call each other Sean.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody else can call me Sean.
He's the only person who's Sean approved.
There's not a single person that
outside of family.
That should be outside of my mother.
Okay,
that should be calling me. Yeah, that should be calling me Sean.
Now, fans are starting to question whether Alex Spiro is actually helping Jay-Z, or if his legal strategy is just making things worse. Remember that first statement Jay put out when the Jane Doe lawsuit first dropped? It leaned heavily on his moral image, saying that he's a man of honor because he's from Brooklyn. The message? That he'd never associate with anyone who harms children. But here's the problem. That statement never actually denied the allegations. Instead of addressing Jane Doe's claims directly, Jay immediately went after Tony Busby, accusing him of using the case for personal gain. The statement read, "You have made a terrible error in judgment thinking that all celebrities are the same. I'm not from your world. I'm a young man who made it out of the projects in Brooklyn. We don't play these types of games. We have very strict codes and honor. We protect children." But fans were quick to pull the receipts. If Jay-Z really lives by this so-called moral code, then why was he out here working with known predators like Harvey Weinstein and R. Kelly? When it comes to R. Kelly, Jay-Z kept collaborating with him even after the disturbing allegations had already gone public. Let's not forget, they dropped the Best of Both Worlds album and went on tour together. And this was after Jay-Z knew that R. Kelly had victimized Aaliyah when she was just 12 or 13 years old.
This witness vividly remembered the day R. Kelly introduced her to Aaliyah. It was Aaliyah's 12th birthday, and R. Kelly was convinced that Aaliyah would be a star. The witness learned more about R. Kelly and Aaliyah's relationship after walking in on them in the back of a tour bus. A former backup dancer testified she was on tour with R. Kelly in the early 90s, and Aaliyah traveled with them. The dancer said on the back of a tour bus, she saw, quote, Robert and Aaliyah in a situation, saying Kelly appeared to be performing oral on Aaliyah. At the time, Aaliyah would have been around 13 years old.
So where exactly was that strict code and honor Jay-Z mentioned in his statement when R. Kelly was out here doing all those disgusting things? According to multiple insiders, including Dame Dash, Jay knew exactly what R. Kelly had done to Aaliyah. And yet, he still agreed to release a joint album and go on tour with him anyway. That moral code? It seems like it was optional.
But it just was so much hurt for her to revisit it. It was like, I wouldn't even want to revisit it without a professional. Whatever got done was terrible. So to be honest, like, if you remember the Best of Both Worlds, you don't see my name on it. You know what I mean? And
your name is not on either album.
Hell no, I never wanted no parts of that. So when Holmes was doing that, I was like, bro, you know our homie, he violated my girl. He was a friend of yours. And because of the moral challenge and him choosing one way, I knew morally we weren't the same.
Dame Dash recently took things up a notch by calling out Jay-Z's lawyer, Alex Spiro, in an interview on The Art of Dialogue. He didn't hold back, straight up calling Spiro a liar and accusing him of making the situation worse for Jay. According to Dame, Spiro's legal tactics haven't helped at all. In fact, he says they've damaged Jay-Z's reputation even more, putting a bigger target on his back than ever before. And now, people are coming after Jay in ways he's never experienced.
I think right now, his silence is the worst thing for him. If he is innocent, he needs to let people ask him questions. He needs to be able to say his side of the story, as opposed to letting that lawyer talk. Because that lawyer, I don't trust that lawyer because I went to court with him. So to me, everything that guy says is, allegedly a lie. Just based on my experience with going to court with him, I don't trust the Alex Shapiro dude. He's ill. He's an ill dude. He'll say anything. It's like he crazy. You know what I mean?
Dame Dash also shared his own experience dealing with Alex Spiro, and let's just say, it wasn't positive. He said that if he were in Jay-Z's shoes right now, he wouldn't let Spiro speak for him at all, especially after Spiro publicly claimed that Jay and Diddy were never really friends. To Dame, that move wasn't just dishonest. It was embarrassing.
Wouldn't have him talking for me. If he wants, I'm not going to sit there and say nothing bad or good or defend or anything because it'll all play itself out. I just think it's kind of ill that they're on his head like that, and if he's, he should probably come out and say something. It's hard. Like I don't think I would have said that he didn't know Puff at all or wasn't his friend. I thought that was a little extreme. I thought that was the wrong choice of words. I think that's going to trigger a lot of backlash. But the thing is, I never seen him get backlash at all. So that's what I'm saying. Now he getting backlash. Like, when did you know Jay-Z would be on his heels other than when he got beat up in the elevator? But that was nothing. But I've never seen him under the fire ever. Not in a long time. Not like, I've never seen people on his head like that before. Some white man speaking for another black man doesn't add up. It just doesn't work like that. Like, he doesn't know what to say on Jay's behalf. Jay would have to say that. So he instructed him to say that. Like, you don't even know if Jay told him to say that. He could have got off the stage and they was like, "Why'd you say that?" He was like, "I had to." You know, like he probably said it because homeboy wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? So who knows? Like I didn't hear him say anything. I haven't heard Jay say a word yet. Have you?
I haven't heard him say anything.
There it is. So y'all going by a piece of paper with words, don't get caught up in that. I have not heard him say one thing yet. You know? Until I see him speak, he hasn't spoke to me.
Oh, and get this. Even the judge overseeing the Jane Doe case recently called out Alex Spiro for flooding the court with aggressive filings. She strongly suggested that his legal tactics aren't helping Jay-Z at all. In fact, they might be doing the exact opposite. Judge Annalisa Torres didn't hold back. In a written order, she criticized Spiro's constant stream of combative motions and inflammatory language aimed at Tony Busby. The judge noted that Spiro, who's only been on the case a few weeks, has already submitted a pile of letters and motions, most of them focused not on the facts, but on attacking Busby's character and trying to rush the court process. She wrote, "Carter's lawyer's relentless filing of combative motions containing inflammatory language and ad hominem attacks is inappropriate, a waste of judicial resources, and a tactic unlikely to benefit his client. The court will not fast-track the judicial process merely because counsel demands it." But that's not all. The judge also ruled that Jane Doe will remain anonymous, for now, citing serious concerns about her mental and physical well-being. If her identity is revealed, that's a major win for Busby and a serious setback for Jay-Z's team. Why? Because Spiro was reportedly planning to use Jane Doe's identity to launch an even more aggressive defense strategy. And just when things couldn't get messier, Jay-Z's legal team is now also facing a brand new lawsuit filed by Tony Busby against Roc Nation. In it, Busby accuses Roc Nation of hiring shady individuals to impersonate state officials and pressure his clients into turning against his law firm. According to Busby, Roc Nation allegedly offered up to $100,000 to one of his clients to flip on him. He also claims these imposters used fake badges, pretending to be Texas state agents, in an effort to trick people into making false statements. And in a shocking twist, Busby says one of those individuals actually admitted to the whole thing.
The lawsuit begins. Defendants have conspired to obstruct justice by engaging shadowy operatives to illegally seek out more than 24 current and former clients of the Busby law firm to convince those clients to bring frivolous cases against the Busby law firm. Defendant Roc Nation is financing the effort. Its attorneys, Marcy Croft and Quinn Emanuel, are orchestrating the effort. Quite the accusations.
Tony Busby is now directly accusing attorney Marcy Croft and the law firm Quinn Emanuel of violating Texas state laws, allegedly offering one of his former clients money in exchange for suing his firm. Busby even posted a screenshot showing Marcy Croft bragging about her relationship with Roc Nation. According to him, he has proof that Roc Nation and its legal team were involved in a calculated conspiracy designed to obstruct justice and stop the Busby law firm from pursuing Diddy-related cases in New York. Busby didn't hold back. He said, "This conduct isn't just alleged, it was caught on tape." He specifically called out Marcy Croft, noting that she publicly identifies as part of Team Roc, and claimed that she's been orchestrating the entire scheme with help from Quinn Emanuel. In the screenshot Busby shared, it's clear that Croft, Quinn Emanuel, and Roc Nation have a long-standing working relationship. According to the lawsuit, Roc Nation is allegedly funding this illegal effort. Busby claims that agents tied to Marcy Croft were actually recorded, offering up to $100,000 to former clients of his firm, trying to convince them to file a bogus lawsuit against him. He wrapped up his statement by saying, "Let me be clear. We will not be bullied or intimidated." The defendants this time overstepped, got sloppy, and stupidly got caught in their illegal scheme, on tape. We've reported this conduct to the authorities and will fully cooperate to ensure everyone involved is prosecuted to the fullest extent under Texas law. Meanwhile, fans are deeply divided over this entire situation. On one hand, Jane Doe's story has raised a few eyebrows because of inconsistencies, but others point out that she was allegedly drugged. And given her vulnerable state at the time, those inconsistencies could be understandable. On the flip side, Jay-Z's legal defense strategy is raising even more questions. People are noticing that instead of proving his innocence, Jay-Z seems far more focused on tearing down Tony Busby's credibility. And then there's the strange move of having Alex Spiro publicly deny that Jay and Diddy were ever friends, which honestly just made people start digging even deeper.
What's that? That's Mall King?
It's marvelous. We gotta get the shoes though. Y'all know what it is.
So, what's your take on all of this? Is Jay-Z starting to look desperate with his defense tactics? Or is he just doing whatever it takes to protect his legacy? And how do you feel about him denying that he was ever friends with Diddy, despite years of receipts saying otherwise? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear what you think.